Hi everybody, welcome back to Women Work Your Faith. My name is Sylvia.
And I'm Kanisha.
And today we want to do a little reflection on 2021 and let you know how we are planning to start and carry this new year through with God. If this is your first time here, we're two women who like to encourage others as we encourage each other, encourage ourselves.
We need it.
And we do it through our faith in God, and we'd like to share with you how we apply that faith to real life practice. So, without further ado, Happy New Year. Here's what we got.
Happy New Year. Okay, the word of the year.
There's a whole word.
This is a whole word. Balance. Because everything is everywhere. And you know, I think other people notice if you can't keep everything together. I think that's why Sylvia got me a planner.
It's cute though.
It is cute. For my birthday, in my basket, Sylvia gave me a planner and I've been using it. And you know what? I'm already seeing a difference. I see how busy everything is already. And we were talking about encouraging each other. The phone's ringing.
Oh no.
My word for the year is balance, because I like it in some areas. Not like I'm just all over the place, but last year we talked about grace and working in new areas, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm comfortable in those areas now. Well, in the last video I talked about starting a new endeavor, but I never really told what the endeavor was. So my husband started a church, and that is why I have been hiding. There's so much that goes into it.
Well, it's not just, you know, you open up a door somewhere and say the arms of the church are now open, come all you want to receive.
So much more. I didn't know that before. I mean, I knew it, but it's a difference between knowing it and doing it. But I still need a level of balance, because there's a lot that's required of you. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you have home pulling at you, you have work pulling at you. I don't do it all the time, but I do it sometimes. And that requires of me when I do it. And church. And then what about me? I'm on there somewhere, right? Right. So trying to create the balance, that's what this year is going to be about.
It's rough, because when you were listing those things that have a requirement of you, when I am such and such manager at work, I'm still Sylvia the daughter, Sylvia the caregiver, Sylvia the homemaker. I don't ever stop being all the things that I am. But when you are in those situations, they want your undivided attention. It's like, no, I'm still...
I still got this hat on too. This hat don't come off.
They don't come off. The hats don't come off. You just stack them. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you on the balance. I think it's in here for me too. It's just challenging.
And then it's like, especially with the different roles and what's required from you in each one, it's like, it's sometimes you can be like, oh, I can put that off, it's not important. Mm-hmm. But all of them are important in their own right. Mm-hmm. So it's the things like, the little things, and I don't want to say it like it's little, but there's some things like, I don't have an issue with being like, oh, I cannot do this. But I find it challenging when all of them are important. And people are like, well, just say no. I know. No, I'm not gonna say what I was about to say. Say Derek Carr said, just say no. And people been saying yes.
It didn't work.
That is not a good example.
For me, and I think it's very similar to your balance. And so I wrote this down. I like to write, which is why she got a thing for her. I was like,
I needed a note.
Everybody needs to write. But I wrote this down before I went back and watched last year's video. And the first thing I wrote was 2021 went by in a whirlwind. And last year,
it did.
The video I said, don't get caught in the whirlwind. my job, we had this thing called WIGs. They're called Wildly Important Goals. And so you list what your WIGs are, and then you write what your whirlwind is. And so the whirlwind are the things that are going on around you all the time. It's really great planning, right? I should have implemented some. The whirlwind are the things that are going on around you all the time, and they suck you in. They need to be taken care of, but they pull you away from your wildly important goals if you don't keep the whirlwind in its place.
That's hilarious.
I talked about the whirlwind and the things that are always going on and how you get caught up in it. And the very first thing I wrote was that I often got caught up in the whirlwind. It happened. It came through. It's like I blinked and it was October.
Well, I think 2020 shut us down. And everybody played catch up in 2021. And now 2022, if I could show y'all what January looked like.
It's out of control.
It's out of control.
Well, and so the whirlwind. I think when everybody had this sense of it's okay to come out now, everybody just went full steam ahead. Like let's make up for last year, and then that's something that I have to, I guess, in the interest of balance, I have to push against, and I've decided to really like stand on that now. What's gone is gone.
It's over.
I cannot make up for 2021 or 2020, and I'm not going to use the future trying to recuperate the past. Let me see what I thought I said. I did have goals and objectives. Oh, I wrote on here, people didn't like it. They wanted me to do everything they wanted me to do.
Of course, there's always pushback.
The pushback was real, and sometimes I conceded. And sometimes you compromise.
I'm gonna have to put that on the prayer list. Lord, teach me how to withstand the pushback, because I can't.
I'm kind of like that Snickers commercial. I'm not you. You're not you when you're hungry. I'm not you when I'm overwhelmed.
I'm not me.
I'm not who I'm supposed to be when I'm overwhelmed. Yeah, there we go. I'm not me. I'm not me.
I'm not you. You gonna never be you.
Yeah, what you said. I'm not me when I'm overwhelmed. I do turn into a little bit of a beast if I get to be influenced through pressure. And so my resistance for the pushback got to be a little more aggressive than it should have been because I didn't resist when I should have. And so by the end of the year, I was more like putting people in their place. You go put top of me. You go stop doing anything. You go. And so,
check it.
Yes.
What you're not about to do.
Okay, it was a lot of, okay. What I really want to do is to learn how to protect those boundaries the right way so I'm not snapping people's necks.
Can't be snapping people up.
No, because I recognize multiple times where I need to go back and make that right. Like, okay, you know, and it makes you feel uncomfortable because if you hadn't done it, I wouldn't have snapped at you.
Now I'm in trouble.
Now I gotta come back
myself. Something you did.
Yes, but I shouldn't have snapped at you, and then I recognize that I shouldn't have done that. So I got to get myself together.
Thank the Lord for conviction.
Yes.
He helps us get it right.
In 2020, we had all this time. I spent a lot of time learning, a lot of time reading, studying, praying, working on myself. I was exercising, cooking, eating right. All of that went out the window in 2021 because I was like trying to catch up and keep up and redo. And so for this year,
that's real.
I put on there a goal is that I need to get back to finding that balance for my soul care and my self-care.
My former pastor used to say, the same clause that it took the cat to get up the tree, if you want to stay up the tree, he got to keep him. Because the minute that you retract that from what you were doing, you slide down.
Yes.
And you're able to take notice because you're like, I remember what it felt like when. And now I ain't doing that. Now I just don't feel good.
Yes. And it goes back to that whirlwind. It tips the scale. Literally. Like the balance of life and the scale in the bathroom. Because things were going great and I was seeing such progress in a lot of areas. But when the whirlwind came in and I started getting caught up in everything that was going on, the things that I had decided to focus on myself and perfect, I wasn't focused on them anymore.
You know, I had a thought when I was driving. My driving is my personal time. Like, even though people might be in the car with me, like, I think I stopped playing music in the car. I'll just be like in my thoughts. I take advantage of every opportunity that I have. Driving is one of them. So I was riding and I was in thought. And I thought to myself, because I was having that same thought like you were saying, in 2020, XYZ, and now 2021 and this, and so going forward in 2022, was life always as busy as it was in 2021? We just had a whole year off, and it really called our attention because when, you know, life has always been busy. Like, is it busier, or is it just because we had a year off? Now we're able to, you know, like, hey, look, I've been doing a whole lot. I just had a year off now. And now that I had this year off, it's kind of like when you go on vacation and you go back to work, you're like, oh, Lord.
Well, and
hold on. Sorry.
But go ahead. I'm talking about was life always this busy?
Was life always this busy? And then it just took for us to have a year off to really take note of how busy things had gotten.
I believe that. I believe that a lot. I noticed it in 2020 because when they took everything away, I couldn't figure out what to do. And then after I got into a routine and they gave everything back, I was like, I don't want that.
My schedule's already I got exercise, I got nap time, I got family time. I got a schedule now. I made time. I made a plan for this no time.
And it works for me.
Right, it was nice.
I have been learning a lot about faith and trust. Some in Bible, but some just in life. Like, he's doing on-the-job learning right now.
On-the-job training.
Yes, there you go. And the finisher in me wants to, you know, put everything together and make it work and get it how it's supposed to be. But the faith that he's trying to grow in me, when I do walk away from something, or when I do let something go, or I don't fix or finish it myself, learning that might be his plan.
Well, it goes, I know we've had this conversation, but God can't rely on me to do everything. And our shortcoming, where it don't feel good to us, is helpful to somebody else because it helps somebody else pick up the ball.
And we put our faith in ourselves. And I think that's what he's trying to teach me. You have a lot of faith in yourself, and what you're capable of. I think I'm a reasonably intelligent person. I think, you know, I got a nice little skill set, and I rely heavily on that. And what I believe he's trying to teach me is that I need to trust him. So when things are just all out of whack, the strategy girl, the fixer, the whatever, is like, oh, we can do this.
We can fix it.
Yeah, we'll make it right. I rely on myself for so much. And then one part of it, I think, is a result of being by myself all the time. And what I am learning is to really trust God. And that things work out anyway. Which I guess could be the segue to why we have a new background.
I was waiting for her to say something.
That's why I skipped it right here, right? Because that was a lesson I learned in the last video. Not the last video, the last year's New Year video. We talked about, and hopefully the background would be new. It's new. So I moved. And we'll talk more about that process in detail and kind of show you some of the house. It's a mess right now. But I spent all year planning, mapping. I mean, when I talk about mapping, I'm talking about like commute time. I would like go from this neighborhood, how long does it take to drive here? How long does it take to get there? What the traffic look like?
Planning it all.
Yes, how they driving through this neighborhood. Can I walk my dog? You know, like I had it all laid out. And at the end of the season, I didn't have no house. I was kind of salty about it. And so I ended the summer and most of the fall, and I just kind of let it go. And I said, I guess it's not going to happen this year. And it kind of burns me to have a goal and not meet it. And so there was another house that had been listed for a while, and my dad kept pointing it out, and I was like, no, because it's in their neighborhood. I don't want to live with y'all. And I ignored this house for like weeks, months. It was listed for months, and I was meddling. They had an open house when I was at my parents' house one day, and my daddy and I came in here being nosy. And as soon as I walked in, I was like, I should not have come in.
And it's so nice. But that really is the thing. You think about how fast houses were going on the market. Mm-hmm. They were listed for hours and gone.
Holes in the wall, gone.
And then here this house waited for you.
Yes.
House waited for you.
And that's what my pastor said. He said, well, that's the favor of God. Mm-hmm. And the amazing thing about it is, even being saved, reading the Bible, praying, talking to God, we don't expect his favor when it shows up.
That's why every time God does something for me, and I can't be the only person. Every time something, I can't even get it out. That's how excited I get. Every time the Lord does something for me, it feels like the first time.
Yes. It's like, whoa, what's this?
Yes. Like the favor of God never gets old.
No.
Yes.
And so that's that faith piece, right? Because whatever it was, I would have picked out. They were nice houses. I wouldn't look at no rinky-dink stuff. It would not have compared. Mm-hmm. And he already had it planned out. Which kind of, at the end, I was like, you could tell me in March, I would stay home. But even if you look in the Word, how people went through things, you would not have believed it. Mm-hmm. I would not have recognized it. I would not, there it was. God was being glorified in this situation. And when I looked at something, and people told me, people said, don't buy a house this year. You're not going to be able to find anything. Or you're going to have to pay like $40,000, $50,000 over asking. I paid $30,000 under. And, here everybody had how things were going to be. And, I was kind of believing some of it. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I thank God for how the Spirit works in you, because he wouldn't let me move on things. And if I did move on something, he still blocked it anyway. Mm-hmm. So that faith piece, part of me, and like Kenesha says about herself, you kind of get competitive, and a little bit of you rises up like, I ain't gonna let these people beat me.
For real.
And even God would like temper that down, like, just calm down, Sylvia, calm down.
pulling you back.
Trying to keep me to save my coins, you know what I'm saying?
Nah.
I got this, Sylvia, okay? So, just learning to be obedient to the Spirit, even when, the me in me is like, no, this is how we do. So I am learning a lot more about faith, and it is helping me just even trust God in this new process that I'm in. So anyway, thanks for joining us. Put down in the comments any of your new, what you got new, because we always got something new going on, something new.
Something. And I know you do too.
Oh, you do too. Thanks, and join us in the next one.
Bye. Maybe she'll teach me how to do some stuff to the furniture. Maybe we could do that for a video, because I kind of do want to know how to do it.
Sure. Yep. I got lots of
redo
projects.
The table, make it brand new. Video coming soon. That's not gonna be tight. That was horrible.
You'll see it when it posts. And the way that you can see it is if you like, share, and subscribe to our channel. So you can keep up with us. We love the Lord, we saved, but we got stuff we got to do too. So
y'all just heard us say how crazy we are.
Yes.